Good morning. It's really bright because I just have my lamp on. It's 5 a.m., which is usually when my body wakes up, but I honestly, a lot of times I might journal, I might read, kind of just wake up. But today I kind of really want to watch Star Wars. I I kind of like restarted watching Star Wars, and I kind of want to watch the second one today as I kind of like wake up, drink my coffee, watch a little bit of Star Wars, and then I think I'm going to take a shower maybe in like an hour or so. I'm going to go get some coffee and start Star Wars. Good morning! Sorry I'm backlit. I apologize. I normally film from the other angle, but this is where my camera was and we're going with it. It's about 7:20. I just kind of set up some stuff on my computer. I'm just making sure everything's set. I also have had my water, my coffee, and you know the drill. I need to have my yogurt first, but I did make toast because I'm actually kind of hungry today, which is pretty rare. I went on a really long run yesterday, like a hour and a half to 2 hours. I probably shouldn't have done that, but every time I go on long runs, I'm super hungry. So I'm still kind of going back and forth if I'm gonna work out today. I might need like a rest day, but if I do work out, I usually work out like right when my contract hours end. But we'll see. Today, wow, this lighting, I'm so sorry. I need to turn slightly. Okay, that's a little better. Oh, it's worse. I'm losing my voice too. Sorry, everybody. So I have my first half of the day. You guys know the drill. I will show you kind of what we did in the morning. I'll show you on my lunch break, just some of the lessons. Recently, I've been really into Nearpod this week, and not the student paced where I give them the like slideshow, but where I do it and I share my screen and we go through it together. It's kind of like having like a ready-made lesson with like the right questions to ask. And there are some really cool like kindergarten ones that are much more visual that I've been using for my classroom, and it's been great. So we're gonna kind of work through that, and I'm excited about it. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. I think like getting back into teaching, I started to lose my voice, and then I recorded like, I don't even know, 18 podcast episodes, which was unreal. And so I'm like tired of talking. Yes. I do kind of have a full day because during my lunch break, I actually have a meeting. And then at the end of the day, I have a meeting. So it's going to be kind of full. I need to get started. But can you please trace the name Nate the Great? I'll trace it with you. Our main character, that's the name of our main character. Nate is a what? What's the job description here? Nate is a detective. A detective. Do you know what a detective is? Hello everyone. I have a meeting in a couple minutes, but it's my lunch break and I want to show you all the stuff that we did today and then a couple of the things that I'm working on for my kids, which hopefully if all goes well and I work on them for my kids, I can kind of, I don't know, package them up nice and then be able to sell them to you or give it to you for free, just because I know how hard it is to find stuff reasonably priced or free that you can use for teaching. So thought I would show you some of those things today. So you probably saw in a couple of my clips, hold on, I gotta get my stuff. You probably saw in a couple of the clips that for a few of my students, we are reading Nate the Great. And it's normally a book that my school will read in 2nd or 3rd grade. So I just felt like some of my students needed to be exposed to it. So we all have a copy. They have a copy that they or their parents picked up from the building. And I also have a copy at home. So we're going to be going through this slowly. The one thing about Nate the Great is it doesn't have chapters, and so I had to break up the book, and we made kind of like a novel study, or at least I made it, to go along with the book. I will put a picture here of what it actually looks like. It looks way better. It has tabs, but when it's me teaching from my house, I always print it in black and white because I don't need it to be super fancy. And when I'm teaching, I prefer it to be loose leaf and not bound so that I can put it under the document camera. So for a few of us, we read Nate the Great, and then we worked on the first couple pages of this study, which is kind of like tracing the the words of Nate the Great, the characters, and then going through the vocabulary for like chapter 1. And then at the end of the first couple pages, there's a comprehension thing. When I do workbooks for my, oh my gosh, this thing keeps flying. Come on. When I do workbooks for my students, I tend to not do them where they have to cut and paste and other things like that because they're working at home, and cut and paste I'll do at different times, but also because a lot of the general ed students at my school, they tend to have like comprehension notebooks and novel like notebooks, just like a composition book. And so I kind of wanted to mimic that for my students so that if they were ever in the gen ed class, they would be able to use this and not feel so out of place. This is on sale in my store. I will link it down below. It's $2. And also a few of my students are, again, reading Princess in Black because they finally reached that place, and I just really like this book. So the book for next month is Charlotte's Web. So I am in the process of kind of taking this book, making a workbook out of it, and I already printed the adapted novel version from the Sherlock Center. If you don't know about that, it's all these different stories that have been like adapted, and they're just simpler to read. I will link it down below if you're not familiar with Sherlock Center. Anyway, it's amazing. And yeah, so that's kind of like for reading. If we were not doing like comprehension questions related to setting or characters, then my students were doing their own novel study. And I have students who cannot read, and so we did some other just simple things, or we might be working on letters or whatever. So sorry, I was just putting that away. We might be working on letters and all sorts of different stuff. So I'm gonna turn the camera and show you all some of that stuff. Okay, so obviously this is the song I always play again and again. They all love it so much. Some of the things that I've been doing, we've been doing these comprehension, hold on, let me zoom out. These comprehensions, this is from Simply Special Ed. And so basically it just has like this short story and then these, answers that they can choose from, and they're very visual. I really like that. For some of us, we're working on the letter I, so I always show a video first just to kind of ease us into it. Also, for a lot of my students with the letter I found this boom card deck a while ago. And it's super helpful. So I really like using this. One other thing that we've been working on is talking about diversity. I'm not finished with this yet. These are probably going to be boom cards for my classroom, but then also I might package and sell them much later. But for now, I just want to say we talk about diversity of religion, diversity of gender and sexuality, of ability. What else do I have? Language, of families. So I'm really excited about all these because I feel like they're going to help my students a lot. And this is what the Gen Ed is doing, but they're doing it in like more of a like discussion based lesson. And I just knew I wouldn't be able to do that. So I've been trying to find ways to like ask the question, but then also have them answer. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I changed my shirt. I'm wearing a sweater now because I'm going to teach my last class and then I'm going to go for a run. I'm almost done with my day. I'm very excited. So I decided to change before. I still look decently professional from here up and teach my class, and then I'm going to go for a run because Today was good, like there was nothing bad about today, but I am finding more and more that by the end of the day, I'm a little bit like I need that stress relief. I need like a moment to not be thinking, and so running or biking or yoga is like a big thing for me. So I think I'm gonna go run for like 30 minutes and then do a yoga class on Peloton just to feel better. But then I do need to go to the grocery store and make dinner. I've had a bunch of meetings. Like this day has been very full, like so full of stuff, but it's all been really, really good. So I want to show you science because it's like science and writing. I've talked about this a bunch on my previous vlogs, but what we usually do for science relates to our writing. And so every time we do a materials pickup, they get a new writing journal, and I've done this before and I'll link it down below, but this is by the Moffat girls, and it's these guided drawings where they have to write a couple sentences. So I usually take like 20 minutes to talk about whatever the topic of the month of the writing journal is. So we just finished about rocks, and now we're starting on transportation. And so whatever the transportation thing is that day, I somehow tie it into science. So basically, like today is bikes is what we're gonna draw. Let me show you. Let me just show you really quick. There you go. So it's like biking. Anyway, so for science, we'll kind of talk about a little bit about bikes, transportation, what it feels like to move. I think what we're going to focus on this week is like the ground. So like gravel and pavement and cement, which all kind of goes back to materials and states of matter. So I can kind of tie in the rocks and then tie in the bike related to like what bikes can roll on. If we were in person, we'd be doing really cool experiments of like rolling down a hill and feeling the different materials and like looking at the bikes and kind of how they work and talking about wheels. But we're all home right now, so I have to get creative.
Hello. So I just finished my run. I couldn't bring my camera, but I also was needing my phone for music, and every time you record a video with your phone, it turns the music off. So I was like, you know what? This is my moment of serenity. I'm just going to run without vlogging it. But I'm here on the ground in our little home gym, and I'm just kind of stretching. But it feels really good. I'm not into New Year's resolutions. I don't do that kind of stuff. This was not a resolution type of thing. I genuinely work out every day because it helps me. It makes me feel better. It allows me to think. And with a job that's this stressful, you have to have outlets to do something, or else you're just sitting at home, especially teaching from home and being in quarantine. I need something. So that's why I FaceTime my friends and run a lot and bike. It's just been really good for me.
Here we are, grocery shopping. I have a bunch of stuff I need to get, a really long list. My roommate needs a couple things. My friend Sam, he needs a few things. And so I'm just gonna see what I can get. I always listen to a podcast when I grocery shop because I just don't want to socialize with people, especially now with a mask. That's even better. But I'm a true Bostonian. I do not want to small talk with anyone. So I put my headphones in, listen to my podcast, and just get to work. So I'm very excited. I feel pretty safe at this grocery store. Everybody in Boston wears a mask all the time, so I don't necessarily feel that bad. I wash my hands, or I have sanitizer here, and we just hope for the best. So let's go in and get some food. I carried all of this from the car by myself, including all sorts of juice. So much juice. I kind of want to make a margarita, so I bought margarita mix. It was so heavy. And there were no parking spots on the street, so I had to park way down the street, but we did it. We've got it all. All right, everyone, we did it. I'm gonna FaceTime one of my friends and then I'm gonna watch a couple episodes of something, I don't know, just to kind of like decompress. I made myself a margarita, so we're thriving. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that there was something that was helpful. I hope that something maybe that I showed in my day or in my class might, I don't know, spark something for you, or maybe you want to try and replicate it, or maybe you have some tips for me on ways that I can include more stuff into my classroom. Please let me know. You can comment down below. I love seeing all of your comments. You guys are the best. But yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy my night, and I'm so grateful for this community, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Do you think the main character is the princess in black? I agree with you.